I'm excited about sharing our story with others because everybody has something that they want to do that is not easy, and it takes time and it takes trial and error, and it takes a lot of refocusing on what really matters and what you really want.
I'm Erik Orton.
I'm Emily.
And we are currently in Salerno, Italy. We thought we'd just tell you a little bit about us, our background, and a little bit about our book.
We bought a fixer-upper boat in the Caribbean, and Erik quit his job, and we flew to St. Martin, and we got aboard a boat. And then they say it's not an adventure until something goes wrong, and after that we really had a big adventure because a lot of things went wrong.
Pretty quickly, pretty early on.
Pretty constantly.
We did our best, and we took off, and we flew to the Caribbean, as Emily said. We got on our boat, and we spent most of the next year sailing back to Manhattan, and it really changed our lives, transformed us.
I feel like this dream was so big and so inspiring that we could really persist through all the little steps, all the little setbacks, and overcome every obstacle and fear that fell into our path or that we came up against. And for me, some of the greatest parts about it were, first of all, that it did galvanize our family, and it gave us huge credibility with our kids, but also with ourselves. And as we came through the journey, we learned to be more confident because we gained new competencies in sailing, diesel engines, electrical stuff.
Because I knew none of that. There are a lot of good reasons not to do something like this. I mean, it's pretty easy to feel like, oh, we can't afford this, because most of us can't. It's pretty easy to feel like, oh, we've got kids, we have responsibilities. One of our kids has special needs, Down syndrome. And so it wasn't like there was a convenient time for this to happen. It wasn't like we had some kind of financial windfall. We had not just sold a business or received an inheritance of any kind, and we just really bootstrapped it, and we didn't know how to sail. When we had the idea, we did learn how to sail, and we took it incrementally, step by step. It wasn't some kind of throw caution to the wind experience where we just kind of chucked it all on a moment's notice and left. There was, I would say, a fair bit of preparation and planning and getting our kids in the loop on it and getting them to buy into it and be okay with the idea of going, even though they still had lots of questions and worries, as did we. I think questions and worries are inevitable, and you never have that all sorted out before you go. But
well, we thought we could do this sailing life, and then we found out that we really could because we tried it, and we did. And we got a lot of help from new friends and mentors along the way. But I think having the dream that was big enough to inspire all of us to persist over the years that it took to make it happen was really important.
And it's only been in the years since this that we've really been able to feel and recognize those changes. It wasn't until a couple of years later where people just said, so after enough years of people saying, so when are you going to write the book, that we finally said, okay, clearly people want to know about this, and we think we would benefit from taking the time to kind of get our minds around it and articulate what actually happened out there. What did we learn? I guess the one example that we love is we sat down with our editor, and he was the only person besides our agent who had read it at that point, and he said, I don't want to live on a sailboat, but I do have mountains that I want to climb in my own life. And after reading your book, I feel like those mountains have moved a little bit closer, and I don't think that we could have gotten a bigger compliment, even though the book still needed work at that point, but we knew we were onto something good, and that's really what we want.